Remind you to please like our Facebook page if you haven't already. When you join, you'll be able to receive weekly updated news and events, live video messages, and most importantly, you'll be able to interact with tons of people just like you. So go on that button on top of your Facebook page and give it a click, or interact with us on Instagram. Without each and every one of you, Tech This Out would not exist. We couldn't do it without you. Make sure to repost and share different things you see on our page. The more you share, the better. Be sure to watch previous shows on our YouTube channel, and please subscribe so that you can be notified when we post new content. We really want to connect and hear from you, so please don't hesitate to message us. And to find us online, please go to Tech This Out America on Facebook, Tech This Out on YouTube, Twitter, and all social media platforms. Get whole scope at techthisoutnews.com. We connect the streets.
Let's talk about just kind of what it is right now as well. You know what I mean? We've gotten more familiar. When you say it's mainstream, it certainly is. In terms of like, hearing these names like Bad Bunny, J Balvin. Let's talk about Cardi B and her meteoric rise and her superstardom, and just kind of embracing who she is culturally, and how has that benefited her career in your eyes?
Well, I really can't say in that sense. Cardi is of a Hispanic descent. She's Dominican.
Mm-hmm.
She's a hip-hop artist. She'll tell you that she's a hip-hop artist.
Sure.
I believe that she struck gold with her song, the hit single. It was such a catchy, hot song that it caught like wildfire. And she's been blessed. And she's very humble. She's willing to work with, almost anybody. Asuna, one of our artists, has reached out to her, and they've done a track together. And she loved it. She loved the support. She's gotten a lot of support. She started with she did the Love and Hip Hop, and I believe that helped her. That got her some kind of a basis to start off. I don't know the true roots and origins and starts of her career. I know just as much as the rest of the audience. She's a different label. She's a different genre than what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
But she's a beautiful person, and that's about it. I mean, I think she gets support. I know she definitely gets a lot of support in New York. I'm pretty sure that helps. She does get support within the Hispanic community. She has done Spanish radio as far as interviews are concerned. I know she's done almost all the English market radios. She's working. She's doing what she has to do to continue to build her career and be the best artist that she can be.
Right. I mean, the reason I had to ask you, obviously, Ray, is because with her hit single, I Like It, it had, J Balvin and, and Bad Bunny on it. And I saw that, of course, if you're kind of outside the community looking in, it was like, wow, that was a major cosign in helping to familiarize people with those names and the sound of what it can be and the potential. So, I've always kind of looked at that as very interesting. And, you're just seeing a lot more talk, a lot more, a lot more visualization in terms of that marketplace, with Amara La Negra and all of this. What are your thoughts? I hear a lot about sometimes the colorism, so to speak, in the culture. And I think that's, across the board when you're talking about, whether it's African culture, Latin culture, because, there's so many variations of it. What are your thoughts on that? Because I've heard some artists like Amara La Negra speak out on those things. I guess she was directly referencing, say, a Cardi when it comes to that. How do you see it when it comes to really rising in this genre, right now?
It's an interesting question. I think it's an ancient, old age question where it's, I don't want to use the word conspiracy because but there's not, for lack of a better word, I'm going to use conspiracy. I really haven't seen it. I've heard about it. I've I know that, I know about it. But there have been plenty of artists who have risen to success that have been darker skin or darker pigmentation than others. I believe that Cardi and Amara are in two different lanes. Cardi did come before Amara, as far as her deal is concerned, with the label, with Atlantic, and Cardi, she got her break as anybody. I mean, it's right time and right place is basically all you have. Everything is about right time and right place, and Cardi had the right time, the right place. She was in a great position. The industry, the world, the community, the music community was looking for somebody new with good talent in a female perspective, because we always blessed with a lot of males. So I think the music community, as listeners, as fans, were ready to embrace a new female. She came at a perfect time, a perfect opportunity. There was really only one other person that would really making any type of name or noise in that circuit as a female, and Cardi came. As far as Amara is concerned, Amara is doing what she has to do. She's working. She came out with, I think she has a new song out. She has some things on the table, and I believe that first quarter of 2019, she might be able to make a great push and do great things.
Well, just speaking on what it is and observing Cardi B, do you feel like her rise to stardom has helped, broaden things for the reggaeton, for the movement? Even though it's not reggaeton, I know it's not reggaeton, but do you think by cross marketing,
No, yeah, of course, it could never hurt. I mean, she's an A-list celebrity in her own rights. Her working cross culture, coming to the Hispanic community and doing stuff with the Hispanic artists, it can't hurt, because that can only help. Why? Because she might have fans somewhere that never thought about listening to a J Balvin, listening to a Bad Bunny, or listening to an Ozuna, and vice versa.
Nice. It was just interesting because, and even looking at Bad Bunny, I know, he identifies, as a trap Latin artist. And,
correct.
I know that trap music, in terms of just it being what it is, I think he is opening up to kids from the hood that might have otherwise not ever really tuned in that way. So it's kind of the fun thing about music is it takes you on a journey, on a trip to destinations that you may have otherwise never have ventured, towards on your own sometimes. But, the introduction of great music is exactly what it is. Just like reggae music, Bob Marley had taken reggae music, took it global and made it mainstream. And, here we are, present day. Who would you describe as being the ambassador for reggaeton, so to speak, or the ambassadors at this point now, since it's become so huge?
Unequivocally, Daddy Yankee. Easy question. Daddy Yankee. Daddy Yankee was able to bring it mainstream. He was obviously one of the biggest artists and the first artists, still doing things to this day, still a great person. But when he did his Pepsi commercial, that's when things got to mainstream, when it got to the mainland, per se. If I'm correct, it was so around 2003, 2004, it started getting mainstream, and then Daddy Yankee did his Pepsi commercial, I want to say, in 2006. Then you have his other two guys that were with him neck and neck as far as celebrity and stardom, which was Tego Calderon and Don Omar, who through their music, they also were afforded the opportunity to go into movies as well. Don Omar did Fast and Furious. Tego Calderon did a couple of movies. Tego Calderon also had a song with Akon some years ago. So it's it's been a situation since 2003, 2004 that we've been able to really get into mainstream to where we are today. So about 14, 15 years now that it's to the point where it's here, and I believe it's here to stay.
That's what's up. It's it's just interesting to kind of get that perspective because I could see the culture really moving in ways that perhaps no one could have ever anticipated. What do you believe is on the horizon for reggaeton?
I would say the dembow. Dembow, which is just it's the roots, it's the classic, it really wasn't, it hasn't gotten mainstream attention yet. I believe that's next. But I also believe more cross-culture. I believe more working with other rappers and other American artists. I think that's where it's going. I think it's going to continue to rise and build. I think the numbers support it. I think the communities, and I say communities, I mean music communities as a whole, are embracing it.
It's funny, Ray. I interviewed Dennis Quaid, the actor.
Sure.
And, he told me that reggaeton was one of his favorite genres of music.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's very interesting, yeah.
Yeah, I was impressed just with how, and he seemed to be very passionate. I know he grew up in Houston, so certainly a huge Spanish influence, I know there, but just the way, he just quickly, that roll, saying right off the tongue, and he was like reggaeton. He loves it. He listens to rap, but and he mentioned how much he likes rap. But all music, I would imagine, he's kind of like pretty diverse. But he specifically mentioned that, and I just thought that was interesting and a testament to what you've already said about where it's heading. So, I'm interested myself to always see how that reflects from an awards perspective. Because one of the things that I know I've had a heavy hand in was Afrobeat. And, a lot of times when people don't understand a particular genre per se, it has to find its own life, wherever that is. And, as time progresses, people begin to really, it begins to evolve, that perspective. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So, kudos to you and the work, that you all have been putting in to really build the foundation for it, you know what I mean, and just help more and more people become familiar. So, definitely.
Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate listeners. I appreciate your fans, and hopefully we can continue to entertain them and bring them more music that they'll enjoy. And I hope that they keep streaming our music. Absolutely.
Any information you want to give to the fans and our listeners out there, or anything you think would be beneficial to them knowing?
Not really. You can, I would say, definitely keep up on their social media pages. Right now, it's so easy to see what we're all doing through their social medias, at Bad Bunny PR, at Official Ozuna, Ozuna spelled Ozuna. Those are two of my biggest artists. J Balvin, if you watch Late Night TV, he just did Jimmy Fallon. J Balvin also did the song with French Montana. So, we're working. We're out here, and hopefully we can continue to bring you and the fans and the listeners throughout the country and throughout the world music that they enjoy, and hopefully we stay into their good graces.
Yeah. What about you? Can they follow you at all?
Sure.
Right.
I have a social media. I'm at N like Nancy, F like Frank, A like Apple, RAY. That's my Instagram, at NFARAY.
NSA Ray. All right, that's what it is. Ray, man. Ray Annis, Director of Marketing for Sony Latin. I thank you, bro, and I appreciate you. I know we're going to be doing a lot of things in the coming future, so I'm looking forward to getting to one of these shows with you.
Absolutely. I would love to have you, and I'd love to work with you on more things.
Absolutely.
Looking for builds. Everything's about building.
It's all about building, man. We appreciate you, giving us more insight from a streaming perspective as it relates to, saying the whole genre, man. So thank you very much for joining us on Check This Out, America.
Thank you.
Check this out, America.
We connect the streets.